the caregiver money archetype. So this archetype is a more mature archetype. It kind of evolves from the innocent and the orphan into that helper. And I don't know how many of you out there are in that caregiving mode of, you know, it's better to give than to receive, or you're always helping and giving back to other people. And it could be at a detriment of your money, of your time, of your energy, of your spirit. And the caregiver archetype feels the most alive when they're giving and contributing. And the best example of a caregiver archetype is, like, say, Mother Teresa, and she's really balanced and healthy because she has a really good sense of her boundaries. And she gives to people that are going to use what she gives to create more change. You know, I mean, I don't know if you've read any biographies of her, but some people have said she's pretty harsh. She can be pretty hard on you. And part of it is that she wants you to step up for yourself, and that empowers people to step up. And that's the gift and the power of a caregiver. Because sometimes when people are down in the depths and they're just overwhelmed with all of their emotion and it's their hardship, they need a hand to be pulled up to create more empowered ways of being in the world. So caregivers are really an empowering and important thing in the world. And some people, they thrive and they light up with it. But the problem is with a caregiver is when you don't have a good sense of your boundaries and you just say yes to everything. Saying no is really, really difficult. And those personal boundaries get crossed by other people. So that can build up with resentment and upset and in those energies that don't let you kind of get fed by being the caregiver, because you shut it off, because sometimes you want the gratitude to come back to you, or you want that reflection that you're doing good. And there's an expectation around that. But the really powerful thing that I wanted to do with all of you, and if you can get some time to just sit and sink into these questions that I'm going to ask you, is this energy of receiving is a really hard thing for a caregiver. Like, money can just go out, time can go out, energy go out, all of that stuff. But having it come back and nourish you is a really challenging thing for the caregiver. So I often will talk about this program that we are all functioning from in this reality, and it's called the give and take program. You know, I give you something, so I have likelihood of taking it so that I can navigate it myself. So the give and take is it's like you're keeping track. And some people will give so that they feel more powerful. So that when they do take something, that they feel it's okay. But if they're giving all the time, then they're more on top and they're more in control, right? Now, if someone's taking, then they just are on empty a lot of times and just want to be filled, and they never get filled by it. So it's this weird transactional relationship. And we get it with our money, we get it with our food, we get it, you know, I pay you, you give me this. And if someone rips you off, you feel outraged by it, because we're in this give and take reality. I want to kind of flip it, and let's navigate the gifting and receiving reality. Now, gifting and receiving happen simultaneously. They happen exactly at the same time. And a great way of kind of understanding that is, I want you to just imagine you have a friend and you've been thinking about their birthday and you want to give them this gift, this beautiful gift. So you shopped, you saw this perfect thing, and it was amazing. And you're like, you can't wait to deliver it to them and have them receive it. So they take the box and they're like, oh my God, it's so beautifully wrapped. They open the box and they start crying because it's the most perfect gift that they ever could imagine someone giving them. And they're like, oh my God, you see me? Thank you so much. And their heart explodes. So when you're the person gifting to someone like that, you receive so much when they receive the gift fully. Wouldn't you agree? Can you feel that energy? Now, just imagine you giving this amazing gift that you can't wait to someone, and they grab the box and they don't even open it. They put it off and say, oh, thank you. Or they open it and they go, oh, nice, thanks. And they put it away. So they don't actually receive it. So the energy just stops there, right? So there's no circular connection and reciprocity in that sign of gifting. So what I'll often say to people is, don't give someone something that they can't receive. Now, the art of a caregiver is to actually tap into the energy of people and say, what can they receive? And it may not be a cognitive thing where you think about it, but energetically, you know. And when you say that, like if you're going to say something to someone, you want to say it so that they can receive it. And it doesn't come just because you have to say it. There's just this dance of reciprocity where there is an other that is receiving who you are. And in the receiving, you are gifted back. And that's a beautiful dance. And it's an art. You know, you got to really practice it. I often just will sit in a meditation if I have to have a difficult conversation with someone. I should be doing this more. I've forgotten to do this, but I'll say, okay, what can they receive? And what comes out of my mouth is perfect when I'm in that energy. I don't have to premeditate it. It's just like I'm tapped into the energy and the words flow. So this is the caregiver art of gifting and receiving. And that means that you're allowed to receive. A caregiver needs to be able to receive more. And it's not just like, you know, let someone pay for you. It's not just, that's not just receiving. It's like, let someone take care of you. You know, when a caregiver is sick, oftentimes I've been at fault with this, and someone in the family is taking care of them and they're not doing it the way that I would take care of them. I get kind of, well, can't you do it this way? Can't you do it that way? So it's not allowing that person to receive you the way, or to gift you the way that they need to or want to. So I want to do this practice with you. Now, when you stick your hand out like this, and let's use our left hand. So when you put your hand out, there's a mudra here. There's a mudra of like opening your hand to receiving. There's a yoga practice and in Hindu practice too of receiving. And when you extend your arm so it's straight, I'm not going to do this for very long. It allows the energy to come up your arm into your heart. And where your heart is on the left-hand side. And they often say that the left-hand side of your body is the feminine side. It's the receiving side. The masculine side is the right side, which is the gifting side. So the energy comes in here and exits here. So we want to receive with our left hand. And what I really want you to do, and I want you to feel into the body sense when you say these words. Okay. May I have the money now, please? May I have the money now, please? May I have the money now, please? And ask for the money. You know, ask for the money. When you put it and ask out to the universe, that's how it can come to you. When it's a hope and a wish, it's a little different. So asking for money can be a really hard thing for a lot of money archetypes, not just the caregiver. The artists sometimes have a hard time with that as well. So I would like to navigate this place of feeling into receiving, rather than just say, well, I have a really hard time receiving. It's almost like that's a badge of honor for a lot of people. Oh, well, I'm better at giving. It's harder for me to receive. Give that up. Come on, like we are always receiving. We're receiving oxygen, we're receiving a breath, we're receiving the sunlight, we're receiving rain. We are receiving all the time in this reality. And it's about noticing how you receive. You know, do you allow whatever comes to you to nourish your body? Do you allow it to penetrate you and fill you up so that you are even a better steward to other people in your life? It has to go both ways, or else you get depleted and there's nothing left. So this is your practice with the caregiver, and I really want you to kind of write in the box or send us a video or something about what did it feel like to say, may I have the money now, please? And I want you to say it 3 times. May I have the money now, please? May I have the money now, please? And allow it to come to you. And if you have someone in your life that you're willing to do this practice to, and they are supposed to pay you money, you could do that. You go, may I have the money now, please? And do it with an open heart. It's not like, may I have that money now, please? You really want to be open to receiving it with love. Okay. So that is the caregiver, and the caregiver has multifacets to it, and it's a really interesting energy. A lot of us navigate it every day. So it'll be interesting to hear your stories about how you are with money. So for today, I just want to throw into your universe that there are often 3 things that you need to explore when you're working with your money. And doing this for over 13 years, I realized that some people are really good at just like going online and learning about money and self-teaching themselves and figuring it out. And they may get a little better over time and it might be successful, and that's great. And they can do really well with self-taught. Some of us are not so good at self-teaching ourselves because this subject matter is not so fun to learn. So when you are stuck in an emotional place with money, when you're in it, it's like you can only see what you know. It's hard to move out of it without someone shining a light that's kind of moving or is further ahead than you, that can see it differently. So one of the things that I do with people is I do these deep dive money coaching sessions. They're often an hour and a half to 2 hours long. And we write down every single thing that you could remember about money from zero to present. And I call it your money biography. And we do a session where we pull in all the patterns that you've created throughout your life and you're repeating that you may see, you may not see. And we start to unfold the story and let your story have some air and be seen, so you don't have to retell it again. It's not about re-traumatizing ourselves with our story. It's about seeing it in its fullness and releasing it so that we can create a new story. And that's a really powerful, powerful piece to doing this work. And I do that with every one of my clients. And it's the one thing that I think moves the needle the most. The next thing is community. You know, we're doing this here, and being seen and being held and being witnessed by your peers is so powerful. So that is always a component that I put into every kind of work that we do. And then the third thing is the subconscious, like, you know, working with the hypnotherapy, getting us out of those belief patterns that are so unconscious that we can't like move beyond them because they're leading. And when we can really rewire those areas, it's so much easier to move forward. And then we also weave in financial literacy throughout, because that's how we have to figure out the money stuff. We got to know what it's about, but we can't learn it if we're flooded with all of our stuff. So you got to deal with that first. So throughout the next 2 days after today, I'm going to introduce you to a package that I have that will allow you to work with me in a deeper way. We're going to have an ongoing community that you'll have for your life of deep diving into money. And it's not a Facebook group, okay? It's an ongoing thing that we do we do it 3 times a year, and it's a deep dive, 3 weeks in a row, 3 times a year, of really kind of harnessing the power of money. And then some personalized hypnotherapy tracks that you get to explore. You'll see some of the links in the Facebook group if you want to explore those more in detail. If you have any questions, let me know, but I'll be talking about it tomorrow too. So thank you everyone for being here now or later. And may I have the money now, please, is a wonderful question. Practice it, do it in the mirror, because how often have you refused to give you the money?